everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to be doing a collaboration with the wonderful Simproved. I'm really excited about this. We're doing a challenge where we do the same lot, but one of us does one half and one of us does the other half. So most of you guys probably know who Simproved is, but she's a really lovely person, and also she's an amazing builder, and she's actually been stuck around my channel from near the beginning and has been really supportive and watched a lot of my videos and commented, and really it was one of the first of many to make me feel really included and at home in this Sims community. So I have a lot of thanks to give to her on that side of things. But the build which we were originally actually going to be doing I'd asked her to do a collaboration with me for a release, like a build for a release of a stuff pack, but she wasn't actually planning on getting it, so we decided to go for this instead. And I was thinking to myself what I could do, and I thought that I wanted to do an Asian themed build again, like I've done before. So I started making it, and I started experimenting with sort of different colours that I'd seen, because if you haven't seen the video of my other Chinese water garden build, I went to China and I was quite heavily influenced by the architecture that I saw there, and there are parts of this which are heavily influenced by that too. However, when I started sort of looking around to see what packs, I went through Simprove's videos to see what packs that she had and what items I could use and stuff like that when I was practicing. And I saw that she had the spa pack, so I thought that it would be really awesome to make a spa. And then when I was thinking on that further, I thought that maybe I could make a dojo, and it could be a dojo and spa, and maybe we could pretend that it was sort of up in the mountains, and this kind of stuff that you see in movies. But so that was the idea behind it. However, I think with me sort of experimenting, and I've seen a lot of Asian architecture, so I have a feeling that a lot of this is kind of a mixture of all sorts of different styles from all sorts of different eras. So if it's, I'm not an expert on Asian architecture, and you can probably tell, but I tried my best, so I won't be able to tell you, like this is this style from, this dynasty or from this country or whatever, but I hope that it gives a good effect, even if it isn't, 100% accurate to, historical times and stuff like that. But we've got a bridge out the front, and I'm pretty sure this is I saw this type of bridge in China a lot, so this might not be the kind of bridge you get in Japan, or which I guess is where sort of dojos come from, because I think they have different names in different other Asian countries to do with other martial arts. So I actually wanted to do a bridge like this for my other build, but I had no idea how I was going to do it. But I kind of figured it out this time through, I'd kind of worked out how to do sort of an arch sort of thing in a previous build, and I guess I just built on my knowledge. And what I'm really happy about is the Sims actually use it. I was thinking they're just going to walk around and they're going to walk some awkward way through the builds to avoid going up the stairs and back down them. But even when I was using this lot, and they could get to the building a different way, not over the bridge, they would still use the bridge to get into the building, which was really awesome. I'm really glad that happened. So I'm hoping that when we see Fry's side of the build, which I haven't actually seen yet, I'm really excited to see it, but when we do see that side, hopefully they still choose to use the bridge. That's what I'm hoping anyway. But we're going on to the inside now, and we've got this is kind of like a gym area. I thought that maybe this could be downstairs. We've got like sort of the main big open area practicing sort of area, and then I thought up here could be kind of like individual practice, or sort of working on your fitness and stuff like that, and then downstairs was where you took the classes, if that kind of thing could happen. I've also put out a yoga sort of instructor mat at the front, and we do something around there, and that's I thought that maybe sort of that kind of like yoga, or maybe something like I think it's called like Tai Chi, something like that, might be done outside. I saw quite a few people in China doing that, like out in the public gardens and stuff like that. It was really lovely to see. We actually, when we were there, we got to learn some of it, and it looks easy, but it's so it's so tiring. I remember like even the fittest of us all were sweating buckets by the end of doing a Tai Chi session. But so I thought that maybe that could be something like that. I don't know whether they do that, like whether there are other things a bit like that in other countries. But I thought it would be a cool idea, even if it is just yoga. But I still thought it fit really well with the theme. So we're going in, putting some treadmills and stuff like that. I've done sort of like a decoration, which I thought kind of looked like maybe it was part of a dojo, where it's got the white and black. But I also added in the stone, because I thought that looked really good as well. And I put in some bamboo because I thought I might as well. It's the perfect lot for it. So we've got some little bamboos with red bottoms to it, and I think we make like a little seating area with like a decorational thing. It's quite a cramped little space up there, but actually when you're playing in it, it's not too bad. If you're trying to take screenshots in there, it's quite difficult, but for just like playability, if you've got the walls on half, like not all the way up, it's fine. Downstairs you can use it with the walls up, completely fine, but I'd suggest with that upper level to do it with the walls half up, so that you can see what you're doing. But what was also really awesome is these punch bags have little ninja stars stuck in the bottom. How cool is that? I didn't even know they existed. I think they were I think they're like a career unlock or like a level unlock or something like that. But I thought they were awesome. We've got like a storage area behind the stairs, because I thought, if they needed supplies or needed certain equipment, it could be sort of stashed behind there. We've also got a dance floor in the middle, and I thought that maybe that could be a place where they practice fighting each other, even though, they'd be dancing. But they'll be having dance battles, so I think that's good enough. We've also got some knives up on the wall. I thought that they might need some sort of weapon practice and self-defense against weapons. I know that quite a lot of martial arts don't actually use weapons. It's all about self-defense against it. So I wanted to include some of those. I also got up some blackboards and stuff like that, and thought that maybe they could put like lesson times on there, or like scores or stuff like that, or rankings or something like that, all on the walls. And we've got like a little notice board. Do I keep that? No. But yeah, so I just put a whole load of stuff and little scrolls and little knickknacks everywhere. And we actually put in the music from the spa day, the little wall speakers, and I hide some of them in some rocks later, so we get this really nice ambient noise when you're going around the lot, which I think is lovely. But yeah, so this is the deck outside, and originally I was going to put in like loads of different colours of yoga mats, because that's what I normally do whenever I'm making a spa, sort of in my own time. But I didn't think it worked for this lot. I thought that, it wouldn't be everyone's own mats. They'd have mats there already for you, and it would be more organised and more of a, I don't know, more of a structured thing. So I put them as white to start with, but then we put them in black, and then we go over here to do a nice little meditation area, and I made like a little fountain over there, and we put in some rocks. I thought that these kind of rocks reminded me of maybe some rocks that you might see going up a mountain path, so that's why I put them in. I also tried to put in like a little boat because whenever I saw rivers, or beautiful rivers in China, they always had like boats going through them. So I thought that that'd be a nice touch, but I don't in the end. Also, you might notice that I'd put in earlier some, like, the walls and the floor of the pool as green. In China, at least, like I said, I only know stuff about China, so I don't know whether this is the same in Japan or the rest of Asia. You'll have to cut me some slack. I don't know too much about it, but at least in China, they believe that whereas in quite a lot of Western countries we see like blue, like a really turquoise light blue, as clean, pure water. Over there they see like a really light sort of bluey green, but mostly green water as the most pure and the most beautiful. So, and if you, when I was there, I saw water and it was crystal clear, like so incredibly clear, but then like this bright light green, and it was so beautiful. I'd never seen water like that anywhere else in the world. It was amazing, and that was quite often in sort of historic and around temples and things like that. So I think that it was quite, I don't know, maybe important or sort of almost holy water, if they have stuff like that. But yeah, so that's the reason why I put the pool as green, so that it had that effect. The green pool colour that we have in the game, it's sort of a dark, murky green that you can't see through, and it's almost muddy. So I didn't want to put that because I guess that's the kind of green water that you might see, I guess, at least in where I live in England. The only sort of green water that we see is sort of like a murky browny green, and it's like in a lake where not many, it's not clean at all, so that's the reason why I didn't choose that, because I thought that that might work better. Also, I included that. If you've seen my videos before, I don't actually use a mouse. I use my trackpad to do all my building, and so I remembered for this build, because I knew that I'd need to turn something. And I did something inside as well. I plugged in a mouse and I actually used it, and I actually turned something with the Sims 3 controls, which I've said in a few other builds, like I wanted to turn this, but I didn't have a mouse, so I didn't do it. The problem is my mouse is awful, and it doesn't really work, so I need to buy a new one so that I can, use it properly. But for now, I actually enjoy using my trackpad for most things, and I've gotten used to building that way. So it's just when I need it. But I do need a mouse for other games, because I've tried so hard to play other games with a trackpad. It just doesn't work. But yeah, we're putting in some rocks, hiding in those little speakers that I talked about before. Had the little fountain that we've got there. I began to put in, I guess, the algae from the Get Together stuff pack, but then I was searching through stuff, and then I saw the water lilies, and I I was like, I almost slapped myself in the face. It's like, how did you miss that? How did you miss that? Of course this is what you've got to use. But I mostly put that in to cover the bottom of the fountain. There's like the fountain bit which makes the round arch in the bridge. I wanted to hide the bottom because there's like a little, I guess it would be like a stand that it sits on, but that's in the water, so I wanted to hide that. But we're putting in some plants around here, and I'm just using sort of the similar plants all over, like over and over again, and putting in some little rocks and sort of blending it in with the terrain paint that we've already put on. I haven't actually had a chance to use this terrain paint, I don't think, so it was really nice to be able to use it for this, and I think it was perfect actually. But yeah, so we're putting in some more plants, just general stuff. I think next, I actually went over the line a little bit, and I actually removed that line when I uploaded it to the gallery for Simproved. But I thought a way of getting around that was I would leave that little area by the river bit, so that Simproved could put in some little plants and stuff there, or whatever she wanted, even though it was only a few tiles, to make up for the fact that I took away a few tiles. I know that's silly, but I did want it to be fair. I didn't want to sort of cut into hers, but I thought that if I moved the bridge fully into my section, that it would be difficult to blend, and it would look like two separate things, which, you know, had been, you know, it wouldn't blend so well. It wouldn't look like one lot, it would look like two separate lots, and there'd be too much going on in my part, and possibly, you know, too much going on. I just thought that it would be a nice way to join them together, I guess. So I was fiddling around with the layout of this, and actually I think it looks quite nice as it is, with these little stone pieces and the incense on them. I don't actually keep that though. I think I was quite I think I've been building for a while now, like by this point, and I was actually feeling a little bit poorly, so and that was my, like, I had lots of work to do, but I decided to build because I was sick and I couldn't do work, so I wanted to build instead. But I think I wanted to include these candles, and I wasn't feeling amazingly great about it, so I played around and changed that. I didn't feel good about it at the time, but I think actually it looks quite nice. So if you prefer how I had it before, go ahead and change it for yourself. You won't have the little candles though, but I'm sure you guys can figure out a way of putting in the candles and the little stone and the incense bit. But then we go in and we put in another little fountain in here. I tried to put in this umbrella, which I love. I think it's so pretty, but I don't actually put it in the end. So we put in this little fountain and some more candles and stuff, but I think after that I'm pretty much done. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you go and check out Freya's part for the second part of this build. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully see you again soon.